The Sublime Order of Saint Mariam, the Carmelite Order, can be traced back all the way to the prophet Elijah in the Old Testament. The prophet Elijah in the Old Testament was raised by God at a time when the Israelite people were being unfaithful to God and began to worship the Phoenician gods, in particular the Baal. And on Mount Carmel was where the competition took place, where Saint Elijah challenged the Baalite prophet to a duel between their gods and the God of Israel, Yahweh. And he called down fire, that is Elijah, on all the gods of Baal. And Yahweh, the God of the Israelites, won. Elijah imparted to the prophet Elisha, who was his companion, a double portion of his spirit. The church fathers see in this episode a prefiguring of the Virgin Mary when a cloud appears as a sign that God will save his people. And one may also compare the cloak which Elijah gave to Elisha, imparting the spirit of prophecy, to the brown scapular which all Carmelites wear, as well as those enrolled in the confraternity of the brown scapular of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. The Carmelite order continued with the Brothers of the Blessed Virgin Mary in the 13th century, hermits who lived in Palestine on Mount Carmel were the first to build a chapel in honor of the Blessed Virgin Mary, and lived according to a rule approved by the Patriarch of Jerusalem. And they sent some of their hermits to Europe, and actually they abandoned the Holy Land because of the invasion of the Saracens, or the Muslims, who were Muslim. And they met Saint Simon Stock, who was a man from England, and he was a man who, from his youth, spent time in solitude as a hermit. And when he met these hermits from Palestine, who practiced this unique rule inspired by the Blessed Virgin Mary and the tradition of the prophets Elijah and Elisha, he began to adopt the same one. And it was around this time that the Blessed Virgin Mary appeared to Saint Simon Stock and gave him the brown scapular. And she appeared to him saying these words: beloved Son, this habit of thy order. This shall be to thee and to all Carmelites a privilege, that whosoever dies clothed in this shall never suffer eternal fire. It shall be a sign of salvation, a protection in danger, and a pledge of peace. Not long after, the Pope John the 22nd in 1322 had a vision in which Our Lady of Mount Carmel appeared and encouraged the investiture in the scapular and promised that what we call the Sabbatine privilege would be given to all who wear the brown scapular. Her words to Pope John 22nd were, I, the Mother of Grace, shall descend on the Saturday after their death, and whomsoever I shall find in purgatory, I shall free, so that I may lead them to the holy mountain of life everlasting. And so, all who wear today the brown scapular may receive this promise under certain conditions, namely that they wear the brown scapular always and live chastity according to their state, and recite daily the little office of the Blessed Virgin, or observe all the fasts of the Church, or with the permission of a priest, pray the Rosary daily, or perform a good work. And Pope Benedict XV granted that to all who kiss the scapular reverently would receive an indulgence of 500 days. The brown scapular is a sign that the one wearing it is habitually thinking of Mary. The brown scapular is effective under certain conditions. That the one wearing the scapular wear the scapular according to the specifications of the brown scapular, namely that the scapular is made of wool, brown wool, and it may have images such as the emblem of the Carmelite order or the Virgin Mary, and must never be taken off except for bathing. And to receive the promise of the brown scapular, one must be enrolled in the brown scapular by a priest. Historically, the priest had to be a Carmelite priest. However, as the devotion of the brown scapular began to spread, permission was given to all priests to enroll all Catholic faithful in the brown scapular, which must be worn over the shoulders, with the front hanging in the front and the back in the back.
Lord among the gods. You are the true God, the performer of miracles.
The brown scapular
You revealed your power to
is a
the people.
grace granted specifically through the Carmelite order. And so, Our Lady of Mount Carmel always appears holding the brown scapular. It is significant that in her apparition in Lourdes to Saint Bernadette, the Virgin Mary appeared in her final apparition as Our Lady of Mount Carmel. And it is significant that she appeared in Fatima in her last apparition, also as Our Lady of Mount Carmel. And finally, when she appeared in Garabandal in Spain in the 60s, her first apparition was as Our Lady of Mount Carmel. The Carmelite seal or emblem is a mountain and 3 stars, and on top of the mountain a cross. The mountain symbolizes Mount Carmel, as well as the spiritual mountain which Carmelites seek to climb in their ascent to God. It also has a special signification in the book of Revelation. Mount Carmel is referred to in the book of Revelation as Armageddon, coming from the Hebrew word had Megiddo, or present-day Mount Carmel. And it is there that before the second coming of Christ, the final battle will take place, and the day of the Lord will take place. Just like on Mount Carmel, when the battle between the gods of Baal and Yahweh took place. And in the book of Malachi, it says in the very last verse that Saint Elijah will return immediately before the day of the Lord. That is to say, towards the end of the world. And the brown scapular is a devotion which is a sacramental that should be worn in these days which seem to be days similar in the time of the prophet Elijah, when there was the apostasy of the Israelite people from the true faith. Today, there is also an apostasy within the church, as predicted by Our Lady of Fatima in Portugal, when in the third secret which she gave to Sister Lucia, and which remains to be completely revealed, she alludes to an apostasy which will begin from the highest places in the church, namely the Pope. And so in these times, when there is great confusion regarding various statements and papal initiatives by Pope Francis, such as Amoris Laetitia, which opens the door to give communion to the divorced and civilly remarried. In these times in which there is such confusion being caused by the ambiguity of the Pope, it is especially important that we wear the brown scapular, which, thanks to the Carmelite order, we have received from the Blessed Virgin Mary. And this sublime order of Saint Maria was the order which Saint Maria chose. And it is no wonder that she joined the Carmelite order, given its significance for our time and for her time, because her prophecies concern our time. And Saint Mariam is a prophet for our time, like Elijah, of whom she had a vision. And in upcoming videos, friends of the Little Arab hope to reveal more of the prophecies of Saint Maria.